Today is the day I need to put my microphone on. Let's do that first. Today is the day that I say that a lot, don't I? Today is the day. I try and not say hi guys, or hey guys, because apparently that's very annoying to a lot of people. So I try not to use that, but now I'm using today is the day for everything. Anyway, I digress. I'm going to pick my corn. So this is one of my smaller stand of corn, and over there is the full bed of corn. Well, it's my three sisters' bed, so it has the beans and the squash in it as well. Anyway, I am not feeling super confident that this is going to be a good harvest. I have a lot of ears, but, well, let me show you. So you can see I have ears of corn. I mean, these are pretty small. There's a more decent sized one there, but you can see all of the silks have been eaten. So let me just pick this one and we will shuck it and I will show you what I mean. Basically the cat's trying to crawl up my leg. The kernels of corn were not pollinated, or just a handful of them were on each of these. So, yeah, very good example. That's what most of these ears of corn look like, or even worse. Like I shucked one this morning that had, I don't know, maybe 6 kernels on it. It's delicious, which is a bummer that it didn't get pollinated properly. But I am still going to go ahead and harvest it all. And I'll take it all off. I'll blanch it all, take it all off and process what I can. But yeah, I think I'm going to have to supplement with Landon's corn, which is our local corn farmer that does the most amazing corn. I've gotten it from them for the last 2 years, and I think I'm going to do that again. But let's go ahead and harvest, and we'll see what we get. Somebody enjoys a little corn. Come here, Opes. You want some corn? Corn husks? Yeah? Yeah, there you go. Ow, that was almost my finger. Good boy. Yeah. How is it? That's it. All right, well, actually, I need a basket. I am super scatterbrained today. My goodness. All right, so just gonna pull them off, put them in the basket. We will shuck them all inside. I do have all kinds of disgustingness from earwigs in my plants. But so far, the corn that I've shucked, it hasn't been inside the corn. So hopefully, I mean, some of these, I don't even know that they're worth pulling because they're super tiny. Probably give these to the horses. Oh my goodness. There are still what looks to be ears of corn forming, like on these smaller plants here. So I'm going to leave them. And I hadn't intended to pull the actual corn out yet because I am going to let it just dry so I can use it for decoration. But yeah, like these little guys, they don't have anything at all on them. Poop. So the ears on this corn are bigger, and a couple of them that I have shucked did actually have, and like there was some pollination, a little bit of the silks still sticking out. So yeah, because this one actually has a decent amount of corn. So we'll get some. My other problem is that I don't actually know much about growing corn other than that, you know, it needs to get fertilized. So I am kind of wondering, well, this one didn't get fertilized very well. If some of these smaller ones, if I left them, if they would continue growing, but I looked it up and it said that corn is usually ripe about 3 weeks after the silks first form, which it has been more than that. And usually people tell you you can tell that it's ready when the silks are all brown. Well, I don't have any silks to be able to tell that with. So anyway, and I also know that if you wait too long to harvest corn, oh, that was I hate earwigs, that it can turn starchy and not very good. So this one looks like it's got some decent corn in it. And I believe it's the birds that ate the silks. Funny enough, what looks like my largest, fullest ear of corn was on my smallest plant. So I kind of have the same phenomenon happening over here. You can see this little guy right here. It looks like it's still just forming, and it actually does have silks. So, and there's another one right there. So maybe I'll still have luck and get some decent ears, but for now, I have this very sad looking basket. Yeah, pretty dismal, and I think most of these don't have hardly anything on them, kind of like this guy here. Stop it, stop. No. So I think I am going to go ahead and shuck these out here. She is going to be insistent that since I have my bag here, and I think a lot of these I am not even going to take inside, so I can just give actually, I do want to give this to the chickens, so I'm going to put them in that basket. You can get down. And make less of a mess in my house that just got cleaned today. That one's not terrible. Ooh, this one's a good one. Yay! Well, and this one, for being super teeny tiny lengthwise, it actually got fairly fully pollinated. I don't need your help, Missy. All right, this is what I think is my best ear of corn. Let's see what we're looking like. It's looking pretty good. But even it has a lot of missing kernels. And I also think it probably needed to have been picked a couple of days ago. But there we go. So this is it, my corn harvest for 2025. And that's an entire bed. So I don't know, I think there's probably 50 or so corn plants total between the two beds. And yeah, but it's still corn. And you know, I'll probably be able to put up 2 bags in the freezer and a couple that we can eat fresh. And the other thing I was thinking while I was looking at these very, very sad little pieces of corn is there's a lot of people, other homesteading channels right now that are doing the Every Little Bit Counts challenge, which I don't actually really know what it is about. But I believe it's about using all the things, right? So I'm like, well, this will be me participating in the Every Little Bit Counts, little tiny bits count challenge. All right, I have a couple other chores to do in the garden before I head in, and then we will get these blanched up and taken off the cobs. Like I said, I'll probably save a couple for us to eat fresh, but for the most part, I'm just gonna freeze them. Shall we go give the girls their treats? Chicky ladies. Hey girlies. Yeah, you already got yours. And a little Miss Lulu is insisting on laying her eggs in here. She also looks like she's molting, and she is still laying an egg every single day. Impressive. Come on, girls. Come enjoy your corn bits. I also have a lot of onions in here that need to get pulled. So maybe I will do that too. Oh no, I did not record any of that. All right, well, I thought I recorded pulling up all of these onions, and a couple carrots, but I did not. But the way that you know that onions are done is when they are all floppy and they're laying over like that. So I still have quite a few in this patch that are not ready yet. So we will get to them. I've got a couple nice sized ones. That guy there. And one of these over here. These couple here. That guy. This one's almost ready. And that one's ready too. Actually, while we're out here doing this, and it's a beautiful night, let's actually do a really quick garden tour too. It is mid-August, actually nearing the end or closer to the end of August. It's August 20th. So let's take a look at what is happening. So this bed was the bed that the marmot destroyed, and it is doing quite well, which I'm very pleased. All of my beans are doing nicely. I've been harvesting off of them and getting a ton. My basil here looking beautiful. I have been coming around and pulling off everything that looks like it wants to flower. And then I did plant some new beans as well, which have come up. But these guys here are also doing really well. My yellow beans are doing the best, definitely, which is good because they're my favorite. The cucumbers, so these little guys are the ones I planted probably a month ago now. And yeah, they just aren't doing much. Not sure why. These are ones that I got free at the nursery because they looked like that. And they haven't done much, although the ones in the pot over there, which we'll go look at in a second, have done much better. Now, if anybody knows, these are my garbanzo beans. And all they have are these little pods, which looks like it has a single garbanzo bean in each one. I haven't opened one up. But is that the way garbanzo beans are supposed to grow? Or are they supposed to have like big pods with lots of them in them? Because yeah, they all look like that. I don't have a single one that has a pod that looks like it has more than one in it. But maybe I've never grown garbanzo beans. So if somebody knows, let me know. But overall, very pleased with this bed. This Juliet tomato is just a monster and doing fantastic. I have been getting lots of ripe tomatoes off of it, and there are hundreds of green ones on it, and it is still growing like crazy. These are my absolute favorite cherry grape tomatoes. They're not super juicy, they're nice and fleshy, have great tomato flavor, just love them. This Juliet, however, is not doing as great, but that's because there was a very large sunflower right next to it, which I'm pretty sure was the problem. These onions on this side are the ones that the marmot kind of sat on. So I don't think they're, like I said, I can definitely pull some of these, but they're little tiny guys because they just didn't do anything. The other thing that has not done great for me this year are my squash. This is a Jack B. Little. This got planted months ago, and this is only how big it has gotten. Not sure why. This guy is finally looking great. It's a jarhadal. I don't think I have any fruit on it yet, though. I had one, but it looked like it didn't get fertilized. But it had just a super slow start, so I don't know if I'll get anything from it. And then, of course, this is one of the corn beds. I do have onions in here as well, which these are red guys, and they are lovely. But some of them are starting to get close to being ready. Before we go too far away, I have some beautiful zinnias coming here. This is comfrey, I believe. I can never remember if it's the comfrey or the mullen. Comfrey. So it's looking lovely. And then I have replanted these guys with cilantro, and it is all coming up beautifully. So we should have some fresh cilantro soon. This one I have just let go to seed, and I will collect the seed from it later. Then back here, my raspberries, they're still looking pretty good, but most of the berries have just been little tiny, and they just dry up and instantaneously, or they're this size right here. And I think they just haven't gotten enough water. So I have been supplementally watering them. I don't think, I've already lost all of these guys. So, but this one down here still has all kinds of young green berries and even flowers. So I'm definitely giving these guys a lot of water. So hopefully I can get a nice harvest off of them. And even with that being the case, they still have done pretty well. Okay, they haven't done pretty well. I have a 1.5 quart bag in the freezer of them. So again, here's some more of my squash plants, and they're tiny for what they should be this time of year. I don't remember which ones these are. This is a Long Island cheese, so these should be fairly sizable pumpkin plants by this point, and they are just not. And it's not water, so I'm not sure what's going on with them. Back over here, my anise hyssop is looking lovely and humongous. Smells so good. I have this random tomato plant here. I did not plant it here. It has flowers on it now, but I don't know what kind of tomato it's going to grow. But this was supposed to be status, which it is. There is status in here as well. And look at my first little Crispidia. Isn't that adorable? They're so cute. So cute. Lots of sunflowers still. Look at these straw flowers. Isn't that pretty? The coloring is just so gorgeous. I think these are cranberry rose. I love them. So other than the corn not doing great in my three sisters bed, the squash plants are doing well. I have quite a few little squash which are starting to turn color, which is exciting. And they're still producing little babies too, which should have plenty of time to ripen up. And I've gotten tons of green beans from the pole beans that are in here. And I think they might be done, but I'll keep checking. But yeah, they definitely grew up in here and did their thing. So it was kind of cool. It was fun to experiment with for sure. This one didn't do quite as well, but it does have a little guy on it here. And there's another one. This bed is, well, all my chamomile is starting to come back now, which I need to come and pick all of these guys. And then I've got still, my Swiss chard is just still beautiful. It's doing really well. My kale has been eaten by the cabbage moths, which isn't terribly surprising. But my celery is also looking fantastic. It wasn't looking great for a while, but geez, I can't even see in here anymore. But yeah, it's starting to form up some nice stalks. This is my sun gold tomato, and it's been producing decently, not fantastic, but you know, it's not a real robust plant, and I think I just overcrowded this bed terribly. And the beans that are in this bed, while they have grown up over the trellis, they're not very leafy. I don't know, I'm not really sure what went on with them, but they're still growing and still flowering. So I'm just gonna keep letting them do their thing here. And I mean, I have definitely gotten beans off of them. This one's funny. So I got a mixture of beans that these plants right here are that mixture. And all of the beans on this one are yellow and are curled up like this. So I think it must be the type of bean it is, but I'd never seen a bean do that. And then on this side, this was my potato bed. And the sun gold on this side, again, I shouldn't have planted the tomato or the cucumbers in this bed with the potatoes. And I left way too many sunflowers in this bed. In fact, I would say that is probably my biggest learning of this year is I can't leave so many sunflowers in my beds. They're beautiful and I love them, but they are water and nutrient hogs, and they win over pretty much everything else. So I will definitely leave some in the beds again, but like maybe one in a corner, and that's it. Not basically an entire bed of them like this. Although, and actually I do kind of wonder if the potatoes would have done much better even than they did if I hadn't had so many sunflowers in here. But gosh, they sure are pretty. This bed, oh, it's just a hodgepodge of craziness. There are some zinnias in here that are being very brave and poking their little heads out. But once again, sunflowers that I just couldn't resist. So yeah, cannot do that again next year. Oh, my calendula in here are finally starting to bloom. And another zinnia. Those were the mini zinnias. And lots of anise up in this bed as well. We will do the greenhouse last. However, we are going to run out of daylight here, so I need to speed things up here. So this is one of my keyhole beds, which kind of did exactly what I wanted it to. It's just an absolute mess of flowers and plants and beautifulness. I love it. This Cosmo is so cool. It starts out kind of what that middle color is, and then it fades to this really pretty dusky pink color. So even though these are really faded blossoms, they're still so pretty. I've just loved and enjoyed them. I have them in that bed as well. Then this bed was the other one that I just left far too many of the sunflowers in, and it definitely has hurt this bed. So this is all of my shallots, and they are starting to put on some size. And I mean, shallots don't get as big as onions, but most of them are pretty small still. And the carrots in this bed also have just been growing really slowly. This morning, I actually, in a couple of the beds down there, I did pull out quite a few sunflowers, and my plan is to do that in these beds as well. as hard as it will be. I mean, look at this. I just get to stand surrounded by sunflowers. How can I not leave them? They're so pretty. Zara wants her dinner. Yeah, I know, but you can wait for a little bit. This is my brassica bed, which I've kind of just neglected. I have some cabbages that have split that I need to come in and get. My broccoli, well, actually I still could be picking broccoli sprouts, but a lot of them have gone to seed. I was not impressed with the green cauliflower thingies, these guys. I didn't like the flavor of them at all. So I haven't even picked these. So I definitely will not be growing those again. I don't really need my sunglasses anymore. Okay, so this bed is one of the ones that I pulled a bunch of sunflowers out of. You can't tell I pulled them out. Well, I pulled out a bunch of the arms. So they had arms kind of sticking into the bed. Oh, there's one that I pulled out over there. A couple that I pulled off right at the bottom. So, but left their roots. Oh, here, this guy here. This was a huge one. So hopefully these onions, and this is my leek bed as well. And most of my leeks, again, they're just really small. Leeks do grow very slowly, but they should be bigger than this by now. And my parsley also in this bed just has not done fantastic. Or the zucchini. But I do have some new zucchinis coming on, so that's exciting. The onions in here are starting to look decent, although I think these are the Ace Le Craig, which are supposed to get like massive, and they are not doing that. But that's okay. I will have plenty of onions. And then my tomatillos are finally doing really well. I have lots of little tomatillos coming on, and even a couple that are really ready to pick. That guy is fully solid. So we should have a decent tomatillo harvest. I have all 3 of them in here doing well. This bed I also pulled some sunflowers out of today. I've got some jalapenos in here, and these cosmos are also so pretty. I love them. Another one of 2 of my very stunted pumpkin plants, which I don't expect to get anything off of. These onions I actually planted really late, so I don't know if I'll get anything from them, but they're looking great. So, and then this dill is all volunteer from last year. These actually were this bed and this bed were my garlic beds. So I was letting my garlic go to seed. I think, yes. The seeds are in those little guys right there. I don't think they're quite ready yet, but they are doing what I want them to do. So that's exciting and fun. And then I have a couple of other pepper plants. All of the ones that are in these 2 beds are ones that I purchased from the store. These are poblanos. I've been getting huge amounts of calendula every couple of days, which I definitely can pick some of these again, which is fantastic. And then we are back at the onion bed. This again is another pumpkin that should be 10 times this size. This one's doing a little bit better. And I do have a little guy right there, which, oh no, it's rotting. Oh, how sad. I wonder what happened. Bummer. Well, I'm not gonna have that one. But the carrots in this bed are doing quite well. So that's pretty much all of my garden beds. I have been getting handfuls of strawberries off of the green stalk there, but nothing to write home about. All right, now the hoop house. This has just, well, the tomatoes have blown my mind. Blown my mind. It is crazy in here. Oh, but first, look at these cosmos. They are just so prolific. It is crazy. They're in with my apple mint plants, which actually I think the cosmos are kind of taking over the mint, which is crazy. Well, no, this one's doing pretty good. Although this Cosmo is not doing as well as this one. Anyway, it's just so pretty to walk in and see this. But look at that jungle. It is insanity. Insanity. I need to pick all of my Tulsi again. My status is doing great. That is all a single sage plant. I do have some lovely of my African daisies. Aren't that center is just so gorgeous, that blue. That one's a little more purple on the inside. The only thing that's not done super well over here are my eucalyptus. Not really sure why, but a couple of them have done decently, but for the most part, not super. A nice weed. I have this guy, anise hyssop, feverfew, more anise hyssop, straw flowers, which the soft straw flowers, these guys are so pretty too, are doing fantastic. And then lots and lots of gomphrena, which actually I want to pick a whole bunch of that. Oh, look at the little bee just sitting there, hanging out. So I've got the white, but then look at these. Look at my Lisianthus. Aren't they so pretty? So pretty. I love them. And I've got tons of carnations as well. These are the La France that smell divine. I don't know what's going on with my watermelon plant. It looks terrible. This is up towards the end where it's actually, the plant in the ground. And towards this end, it's great. And look at it. I've got watermelons. I have actual watermelons. And there's another one right here. Oh, there's another one. Oh my goodness. So I have 4 watermelons. I have no idea how to know when they're ripe. So I need to look that up, or somebody needs to tell me. Tell me if you guys know. My purple basil, again, is just huge already. But look at these tomatoes. Oh my goodness, these are just going crazy. So these are the orange ox heart. They are beautiful, and I have tons. And look at how tall they are. I mean, I've been cutting them off because they've just been bending over because I don't have anything to support them up there. I don't have anything tall enough. I'd have to be having strings from the top, which I don't know. I mean, I think these have got to be 8 feet tall, easily 8 feet tall. It's just, and look at those over there. Crazy, absolutely crazy. I did come here and I did a bunch of trimming here. Like I said, I chopped off a bunch of branches just the other day. But these guys as well. I think these are the goldies here. I've already picked a ton of them. And then these are the pineapple, which look how big they are. This one's ready to be picked. And then I think I have big rainbow. Yeah, so these are the big rainbow. These kind of get a little more red on them. They're beautiful. Also quite sizable. Over here are all of my paste tomatoes. So these are the NCRD paste. They get quite large. They're just starting to get ripe, and there is tons and tons of them buried in here. Then on the other side, these are my Romas. I don't even know what to do with them anymore, but they are starting to get ripe a lot, kind of inside here. And I have to go spelunking to find them. I just couldn't keep up on keeping them trimmed, but you can see back in here, maybe, there's several ripe ones that need to get picked. Oof, but they're decent size, and I mean, they're just a basic Roma tomato. but lovely. And so many of them. And these are my Ace 55. I thought that these were determinate tomatoes. They've never gotten this big before, ever. But here we are. And not a ton down here. I've started picking them. They are definitely starting to get ripe, but there's lots of little green ones. And I think I have enough time that most of these will get ripe as well. And then here, well, I think this is one of the orange ones from the other side coming through. Yeah, this guy too. Because these are my striped and speckled Roma plants, which have been, these guys are huge. Let's see, I've got one down here. So this is a striped Roma. And you can see it is indeed striped. The speckled Roma look almost exactly the same. I think they just might be a little more, their stripes are a little more green, or maybe the other way around. They look pretty much exactly the same to me. The cool thing about them is they are super tasty, like to just eat sliced too, which has been nice. These were my first guys to start getting ripe. And the really cool thing about, I need to show you my peppers, but the really cool thing about my tomatoes this year is this is the first year I've been picking fully ripe tomatoes off of my tomato plants. And it's just been glorious, just glorious. Now the not so glorious. My peppers, they just aren't doing great. I think I need to give up growing paprikas. My paprikas have always kind of only done this. They just produce 2 or 3 peppers a piece, and the plants never get very big. These goat horns are doing not too bad. I'm going to pull this sunflower out. The goat horns are putting on quite a bit of peppers. And I've got some orange cayennes. But like last year, these plants were massive by this time of year. So they just haven't done well. Oh, that's like weird offshoot of that cayenne. This guy is actually pretty much ripe. And I do have Tabascos getting ripe, but these Tabascos, again, I purchased at the store, the plants. This Christiane is doing pretty good. But then look at all of these. They never really recovered from the aphid issue. I mean, they don't have aphids anymore, but they just aren't growing at all. Not at all. And sadly, these are my sweet peppers. So I'll get a couple, but nothing of real note. My Sugar Rush Peach are doing decently though, so I should get a good harvest of those. My banana peppers did very little. They are starting to flower, so I might get some more, but this was definitely not a pepper year. Not like last year. Last year was the pepper year, this year's the tomato year. Maybe some year I will get them both to be good in the same year. But I'm not complaining. Overall, the garden is beautiful. It's beautiful. I love it. I've been getting lots of harvest from it, even with the sad things like this corn. All right. So like I said, I'm just going to, I'm going to go pick all of the ripe tomatoes that we just saw and feed the horses and gather eggs, and I need to water. And then I will go take care of this corn. So thanks for coming along with me, guys, and I will see you soon. Bye.